You've probably heard this before. Plastic is dangerous. But what if I told you that right now, in some forest you've never heard of, a creature is silently dying because of it? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. And the worst part? No one even knows it's happening until someone like you sees this. This isn't a lecture, it's a true story. And it starts with a young man, a camera, and a forest that holds its breath. It was supposed to be a calm afternoon in Nagpur, India, the kind where the sun is soft, the trees whisper gently, and birdsong echoes between the hills. Tanay Panpalia wasn't chasing headlines. He wasn't a wildlife expert or an activist, just a 26-year-old guy with a camera and some free time out with his friends near Nagpur Lake. They were hiking, laughing, snapping photos of birds fluttering in and out of frame. But then, through the haze of trees, his lens caught something that made him stop breathing for a second. At first glance, it didn't register. A strange shape, hunched and still, partially hidden behind a line of dry brush. Then he zoomed in. His hands tightened around the camera. It wasn't a log. It wasn't a shadow. It was an animal, a wolf, standing utterly still, emaciated, trembling. And on its head, lodged like a cruel crown, was a transparent plastic container. Tanay lowered the camera, stunned. The others fell silent as the realization settled over them. The animal looked like it had come out of a nightmare. Ribs sharp under patchy fur, shoulders quaking, breath labored. And the container, it was tight around its neck and jaw, trapping its face like a clear tomb. Maybe from an oil canister, maybe trash from a picnic. Whatever it was, it had turned a living predator into a ghost of itself. They wanted to help, but this wasn't a lost puppy or a bird with a broken wing. This was a wild wolf, and not just one. Just behind it, they noticed shapes emerging from the trees. Yellow eyes, twitching ears, a full pack, 8, maybe more, watching in silence. No growls, no movement, just quiet observation. The humans stood frozen. The wolves stared back. A standstill unlike any wildlife documentary you've ever seen. For 10 full minutes, no one moved. It was like time cracked open. Tanay would later say it felt as if two worlds, human and wild, were cautiously studying one another, deciding whether to trust or to flee. And then, as if on some unspoken cue, the wolves parted and the starving one stepped forward. It didn't run. It didn't growl. It walked, slowly, shakily, toward the people, not like a predator, not like prey, like something in between, like an animal that understood this was the end of the line, unless it wasn't. Tanay immediately called wildlife rescuers. They were told help would arrive within the hour, but now they had a wolf inches from collapse, standing just meters away. The pack remained still in the background, forming a living barrier, but not one of aggression, more like guardians, waiting to see what the humans would do. The wait felt endless. When the veterinary team arrived, they worked fast but cautiously. The wolf collapsed near a rock, too weak to resist. His breathing was fast, shallow. His fur was soaked with sweat and grime. They tied his legs, not to hurt him, but to prevent last-minute panic. Then one of them gently slid a blade between the plastic and fur. A 10-second passed, and then the bottle slipped free with a sharp crack. But freedom wasn't the end. The wolf was overheating, likely from stress and lack of oxygen. They doused him with water. He flinched at first, then lay still, panting, his eyes fixed on the people around him, not with fear, not even confusion, just something deeper, something hard to describe, like a question, like hope.
No one said a word. Half an hour passed. The sun dipped lower, casting golden light through the trees. Slowly, the wolf stirred. Shaggy legs found the ground, and then, without sound or signal, he turned and vanished into the woods. No hesitation, no ceremony, just gone. But just before disappearing fully into the trees, he stopped and looked back, just for a moment. Tanay didn't capture that moment on camera, not really. but he remembers it better than any photo he's ever taken. A single glance that said more than any caption ever could. Gratitude, recognition, maybe even forgiveness for what humans have done to his world. And then he was gone. The forest swallowed him whole. That afternoon was supposed to be ordinary, but it ended with a rescue that shouldn't have been possible. An emaciated wolf, left for dead by a world drowning in plastic, was saved by nothing more than a camera, a phone call, and the courage to care. This isn't a story about a wolf. It's a story about what's happening right now to birds, to fish, to the animals you'll never see. They're choking on our waste, suffocating on our convenience. And they won't all be lucky enough to have a Tene with a camera nearby. So maybe today, this video was meant for you. Not to scare you, but to remind you. Because this planet isn't just ours. And sometimes the wild stares back, hoping we finally understand. And if you were moved by what you saw, don't let it stop here. Share it. Talk about it. Be that person in the forest who does something before the next wolf doesn't get a second chance.